All right, y'all. Listen, healing is beautiful, powerful. Some might even say transformative, and also awkward as hell. But no one really talks about this part, not at least from my purview. Um, yeah, we glamorize the glow up, right? And the peace and the journals, the yoga, the walking, all the beautiful stuff, right? You see those in Instagram posts, the morning sunlight hitting your face, all that stuff, right? But let's get real. You ever ugly cry on your way to therapy? Like wipe your face in the parking lot like you weren't just sobbing into your steering wheel, and then you walk in like, oh, I'm fine. Yeah, that's
I got
healing.
this.
Yeah, that's healing. And so tonight's episode, it's about the weird, the cringy, the uncomfortable, laugh until you snort parts of healing. Because growth ain't always graceful. It's often confusing as hell. And I've got some stories. Oh man, I've got some stories. So let's dive right into this. For segment one, I wanted to talk about awkward, like growing pains. You know, when you're a teenager and your body's growing faster than your coordination? Yeah, that's what
Oh yeah.
healing's like for me, but the emotional side of it. And there's this weird disconnect between what your heart's learning and how your habits are still trying to catch up, at least for me anyway. And I remember right after I decided to stop drinking, I felt like I had to relearn how to exist socially, right?
Wow.
Like,
Yep.
how do you go to a birthday dinner and not do the group shot, right? That's my mentality going into this. How do you say I'm good when the table orders around and not feel like a wet blanket? You know what I mean? And it's not that anyone was pressuring me. I'm not saying that, but I was uncomfortable as hell.
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was yet in those moments. And the old me, who was loud and fun and took shots with everyone, the new me was quiet, was observant, was sipping water with lime. Like I was trying to trick myself into feeling festive. And the shift for me was real though. And it's lonely at first. It really is. Because not everyone follows you into the next chapter. But the ones who do, those are your people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I want to talk a little bit about that. I got some stories that we'll dive into that kind of go along that thought process. But what's this like for y'all?
Man, brother, you said a mouthful right there. I mean, that's a powerful question, right?
Mhm.
Or just a phrase or a statement. Healing in all its awkwardness, its ugliness. It's not a pretty thing, right? As you stated. And for me, man, bro, it took me a long time to really get to a place of being comfortable with myself. It took me a long time because I hid in the shadows of other people. I hid in what they thought about me, right? And just like, the growing pains of everyday life, you growing up, your knees are going to hurt. When I was an adolescent, like, why my knees hurt? Because you're growing. Your body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's getting to the place of healing, right? It's snapping into place.
Yeah.
And it is not a beautiful thing at all. Man, it's
Mhm.
not. Yeah. And for me, it is it's being in a place of full acceptance of whatever it is that you want to become in life, whatever it is that you want to do in life, right? Is allowing yourself to go through the ugliness to come out as a beautiful swan in your spirit and your soul, if that's a thing, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how it was for me. And, tearing away from um people who didn't help that, right? Because as you're going through life, man, you're around a multiplicity of people that can cause more damage to you. But then again, you don't know because you're trying to grow, you're trying to become. And then you're still in this place of not understanding what you're trying to become, right? So for me, it was getting along by myself and figuring out, what do I really want? And once I decided that part, okay, I don't want to be this, I don't want to be that, I don't want to be looked at a certain way, I don't want to laugh at jokes that ain't funny, but just because I'm around a whole bunch of people, I'll go ahead and laugh at it. What is that for me? Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
crying, it's going in corners, it's snotting, it's not sure of yourself, but you're still moving. Man, it was a lot of reaffirming and loving myself, or at least trying to, right?
Yeah.
And the part of me that really shifted and changed for me is when I let go of the stereotypes that I'm supposed to carry myself in a certain way. I'm supposed to be a certain thing. I'm supposed to feel a certain way. When I let all that go, then the real healing began, because I wasn't holding on to what grandpa told me or holding on to what uncle told me. It was something that I had to learn myself. So the healing journey for me, or that awkwardness of healing, bro, it was a hard one, but it's necessary. But it's necessary. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys both hit that right on the head there. I can really lean towards what Platt was saying. The transformation for me was when I quit drinking.
Mm.
It was literally like starting all over. There was no you, and completely letting go of that old you and having those people that did stay with you changed. And it's just realizing that and allowing it to happen. I fought it for so long. The going out with friends and family and be like,
Mm.
okay, everybody's getting their drinks. Give me a Sprite. That's my go-to now. That's
Mm.
my little treat I give myself, because I don't normally
Yeah.
drink soda. So give me a little Sprite. I'm good. But at first it felt weird, like, because that was always me. That was, you feel part of the in crowd when you're doing that. When everybody's ordering one, you order one too.
Hmm.
Kind of at first it made me feel like I was, less of a person because I couldn't handle doing that.
Right.
Mm.
But it was literally the acceptance of just going, okay, that is the old me. The old me is no longer there anymore.
Yeah.
The new me is what I need to keep pushing to strive to be and learn and grow from. And that whole process is, it's not good. It's not fun. There's days where you're snotting and crying. I get it. And then there's those random moments where I'm out in public and I just want to say hi to a stranger now.
Mm.
It's so strange, just leaning into those things. It's like I was singing in the store a while back. I don't know what I was singing about, and I was grabbing some milk. Oh, I was singing whatever's going on over the PA,
Okay.
and this gentleman comes up next to me, starts singing it with me. I was like, wait a minute, these
That's
things
awesome.
actually
That's
happen.
cool.
I'm like, this is cool, But the old me would have never done that.
Mm.
The old me would have just been like, I'm just gonna stick to myself and just to
Wow.
avoid this whole thing. And
Yeah.
so it's leaning into it, accepting what's happening. It's a whole process, but there's never a bad moment when you're learning now, because you're gonna have the hiccups, you're gonna have the random laughs, the random moments, but that's again what we need to live for. It's enjoying those moments. So
Yeah.
For sure.
that's kind of the whole process for me at this point.
Yeah. Good stuff, gentlemen. I got one for the memory books here. Let me kind of set the scene on this one. So, you guys know what a hibachi grill is?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the chef's usually right in front, cooking everything
Yeah.
on the grill right in
Mhm.
front of you, kind of showmanship style, right? So I'm at a family event. It's for my nephew, and after I got a divorce, I moved in with my brother, and it's his son, and it's his birthday, and we're all celebrating, having a good time. I got my new wife with me, Samaya, and everyone's laughing, drinking, having a great time. I'm feeling good. I'm sober. I think I'm like probably 3 months sober at this point.
Mm.
I'm 8 months sober this month, so I'm still going strong. But in that moment, I was still
Congratulations.
weak. I was still, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
I was still feeling the pressure, and the chef starts spraying sake in everyone's mouth,
Oh.
like full squirt
Mhm.
bottle showmanship style, right?
Oh.
And I'm thinking, completely naively, I'm thinking, cool, water for the kids, right? So I lean in like a fool, and boom, straight shot of sake to the back of my throat. I froze.
Mm.
Y'all, I held it in, just in my mouth, and just sat there with it, just mouth full, eyes wide, panic loading. Everyone's watching me like I'm supposed to be giggling and drunk on joy, right? But they all know that I've gone sober, and my wife's there. She knows immediately what's going on, and
Wow.
me completely oblivious, just thinking it's water, just people having fun, just naively thinking this. I start to panic, and I'm sitting there like a squirrel that accidentally chewed through an electrical wire, like that type of panic. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And finally, I motioned to Samaya for a bowl, and I just spit it out. And it took a lot of control for me to do that.
Yeah.
Silence all around me. You know, one person says, "Bro, what the hell just happened?" Another starts laughing. And me, I'm just trying not to die from shame.
Yeah.
Not shame from everybody else, like shame for myself, right?
Mm.
But you know what? Hindsight 2020 for me, that was growth. I didn't swallow that drink. I didn't cave into the moment. It was awkward as hell. That's
Yeah.
going to come up in this conversation, right?
I
Yeah.
can only
Yeah.
imagine.
But I honored my choices,
Mm.
and that's what healing looks like sometimes. It's weird. It's messy.
Mm-hmm.
It's somewhat hilarious. Hindsight 2020.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bro, that's a powerful story, man, of how you held the line, if you will, right? And I love that because I can imagine some people would have swallowed because you got people looking. Bro, that shows strength. That shows integrity. That shows, right, so much willpower, right? Because I always believe willpower is the strongest element that a person can have on the face of the planet. Like, I don't care what it is. If you will yourself, I'm telling you, you can run through some walls, man. So, man, I kudos to you for that, brother, for doing that and seeing that and realizing that, man. That is strength, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm being honest with you. I don't know if I proud of I'm just saying, man.
Right.
So what that story right there, what you shared, salute to you, big guy. That's
I
power
appreciate
right
it.
there.
I appreciate it. It was hard as hell, man. Like I was
Gee.
definitely thinking about swallowing that. And in that moment, the pressure, everybody's looking, right?
Yeah.
And usually the old me wouldn't have even questioned it. That
Yeah.
shot just goes straight down. I
Yep.
take it, hit on the nose for the books. It was a situation I couldn't control. It happened, whatever, let it be. Just don't drink another one.
Yeah.
But I was so firm in what I was building with this new community, this platinum community, right? That I've started. And I was knee deep into it at the point.
Mm.
And in the back of my mind, subconsciously, I think the things that I was telling myself is you can't quit now on the people that you're trying to lift up. They look to
True.
you for power. They look to you as a resource. And if you cave now and you swallow this, not that all that goes away, because I wouldn't have been that hard on myself,
Sure.
but I don't think I could have looked at myself the same in the mirror the next morning.
Yep.
While making videos of telling people how they can strive and live to see another day. When just the other night I decided to take that drink, unwittingly, but regardless.
Wow, man.
Well, it's like kind of listening to how you explain that. It's like in the back of my mind, if I was in that same situation, I probably would have done what you did. But because the way I look at it in my mind to keep myself from going back and doing it again is it's like a win streak. You know, that's kind of how I'm gamifying it, however you want to
Okay.
look at it. But it's like a win streak. So if that happens, it's like you have to start over. So that those months that you put into it, you're back down to zero again.
Exactly.
So it would negate, and not negate the effort you've put in or I would have put in, but it still would feel like that to me. Like, man, I put a lot of time in it myself too. Got multiple years in now, but it's like, man, start back at zero again. You know how much I would probably beat myself up over something like that?
It'd be rough.
I couldn't do it. I don't know if it would have spiraled the wrong direction, but it's just it takes a lot of willpower to do something like that. I had almost the same type of situation, but it was somebody I thought gave me just a mock shot. I was like, oh, we're just gonna put that down. I'm not gonna even finish that one.
Yeah.
But but it was in a bar, and I'm like, I thought they were, because they knew, and they also tell everybody that I'm being sober also. But it was like,
Yeah.
we're just gonna set that back on the bar. Can I have a Sprite?
Wow.
Club soda, please.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah, I never asked for a white soda anymore, though. I learned that the hard way at bars. Don't do that, because
Yeah,
that
don't
doesn't
do
taste
that.
right. That's
Don't
a whole
extra.
different thing. You have to extra ask for a Sprite.
Wow, man, that's powerful, Cam. That's powerful, man. That's amazing. Yeah.
You know, when you start healing, some people just vanish. It's not always dramatic, right? Sometimes the text threads dry up, the invites stop coming in, and suddenly you're wondering if you changed too much, or if they were only ever there for a version of you that for you no longer exists. But then a few people stay, right? And I've got a handful of those now. You two are some of those, right? The real ones.
Absolutely.
The ones who don't need me to be drunk to enjoy my company. At least I hope so, right? The ones who check in even when I'm quiet. Y'all have done that a bunch with me, right? The ones who sat with me when I couldn't articulate what was wrong, but just needed to not be alone.
Yeah.
And it's in those relationships that I realize, for me, true friends don't get weird about your growth. They support it.
Yeah.
They adjust. They grow with you, right? I don't know how I can emphasize that anymore, how powerful that is when you come to that realization. And it doesn't have to be about drinking. It can be about whatever that situation is for you. But when you can come to that realization of that circle of yours, lean on those people, folks, because those are your people. Those are the ones that are going to be with you through thick and thin and walk that windy path with you. And I promise you, they're going to be the ones that will see you at the end.
Yeah. Man, I like to call people like that the silent heroes, man. Right? Because they're not the loudest one beating on your chest and on me, but they're there, right? And support and help. Man, before I went live on any platform or really was pushing the brand Giso, I used to have a couple of friends that I thought that were my homies, my homeboys, right? And as I'm going through life, as I'm learning myself, as I'm healing, right, through this pain, this awkwardness, it was a comfort in me calling them to check on them. But then it was really let me tell you about my day, because you never really call and check on me. But I thought I was doing what was right as a friend to always say, hey man, how's your day going? But let me tell you about it was never reciprocated for them to call my phone. Right. And once I got to a point of enough love for myself, enough strength, man, I had to let that go. Because they were just using me. They was just around, like you said, man. People only have fun with you if you pushing back a couple, right?
Right.
It's the same for some people. People are only around for you just because you doing exactly what they want you to do. You might be causing more of my my trauma and my pain and my triggers.
Ooh.
And you think that you're a friend and you're not.
Hmm.
Once I opened up my eyes and understood that, I said, hold on, wait a minute. I don't have to call them to get validation when I'm checking on them and I'm going through pain. Skip that. Once I realized that, listen, we don't talk anymore. Matter of fact, I slowly forget about them. Not being mean or rude. That's just what it is when you start to grow, when you are going through the healing process of your life. And bro, you said some 1,000%. Man, you two guys are the only ones that are designated in my phone as friends. I had none before y'all, bro.
Appreciate
I'm
that, man.
I'm being 100% real with you. Like, you know, from me speaking and people say, oh my God, this and that. Listen, friendship, well, nobody blowing up my phone calling on me. So I had to get strong. I had to build myself up. I had to be in a weight room pressing. I had to go ahead and do them curls. I had to do them deadlifts. I had to do these things until the battle buddies come. And I can now say, oh, Lyman, I'm tired, bro. But you know what? Camp, man, I need a little. And it sure things up, man. So what you said is so powerful, man. Silent heroes are the best heroes you want, bro. I love that. They don't have to say, I'm this and I got this power and I got this. No, silent heroes just gonna move just because of who they are and the love they have for you, man. Bro, I love that, man. So that's facts, bro.
Much
Wow.
love to you. Much love to you, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much emotions in the last two statements there. Just trying to soak it all in and properly articulate it.
You're good, brother.
Well, let's just say you know, the friends that stick with you are definitely the ones that you hold on to. You hold on for dear life. You make sure you communicate with them even when your ups, your downs, and those are the ones that stick with you. When I went through my transformation into the new me, I'd say there's a small group of people that stuck through it.
Yeah.
You know, very, very small group of people. And it really makes you kind of, I don't sit and ponder this too much, but it was kind of like okay, so they just like that version. Okay, I get it. Let's not dwell on it, but every once in a while I fall back on it. I'm like, man, maybe that version was a little better, which I know now it's not, but maybe that version was a little more energetic. Maybe that person was a little more outgoing, but it's like, I'm so much happier being this version every day and the continuous growth and being better every day. I could never imagine being the old one. There's no feasible possibility I could ever fall back on that. And it kind of stinks that it took so long to finally realize that. But we all know it's a growing process. It's messy. It's sticky. It is what it is. We get it. But it's just and having those true ones, those battle buddies by your side, like you said, Gizo, it's made things a lot easier. It's allowed me to be more me than I honestly have ever been. And the community that's behind us is absolutely insane. Everybody that's involved directly with us it's helped lifted me up. It's allowed me to be who I really truly should be.
Yeah.
And even on those moments when you think you're falling down that rabbit hole, but that's when they'll be there for you. And you may not expect it, but they'll come out of nowhere, maybe left field. Here you go. We'll help you. And it's a very humbling experience to have those true friends, to be able to say, "Oh, we got you, no matter what the scenario is."
Yeah.
I love that for you, Camp. I really do. I'm proud of you, brother. You're holding the line, and that's what it takes sometimes. Yeah, healing has this funny way of sneaking up on you sometimes. And, one day you're watching a dumb commercial and boom, you're just crying into your burger, right?
No reason at all. You don't
No
even know
reason
why.
at
It's
all.
not even an emotional commercial. All of a sudden, you're just like, okay, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? Did I stub my toe? What's going on here? I don't like
That's
this.
good.
Exactly. Like there's this one time I was in a grocery store and I had my eye on this little kid. I don't know why he just held my attention, but he grabbed his daddy's hand and he asked him, he said, "Daddy, are you proud of me?" And out of nowhere, I lost my absolute shit. Like I just started bawling on aisle 4 because I didn't grow up hearing that. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
didn't have a dad to really ask me those. We didn't have a good relationship.
Yeah.
He didn't really ask me things like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that I needed to hear that until
Mm.
that moment, because as we grow, like I said, it has a funny way of sneaking up on you, right? If you're not used to hearing that stuff, if you don't know you need to hear that, and then suddenly you hear it, you kind of have like an epiphany, like a, oh shit moment. Like, I didn't know I could use that, right? And now I'm here on aisle 4 next to the pickles, wiping my face like someone just broke up with me over the intercom. You know what I mean? Like, it's awkward, yeah,
That's
Yeah.
real.
but it's
It's real.
healing also. Because coming to that realization, you now get to set the boundaries, right? You get to set the expectations now.
Yeah.
It's almost like not just an epiphany anymore. It's like an awakening of sorts,
Mm.
because now you get to dictate what you want, what you get out of others. And if it doesn't come that way, you move on. You set the story, you set the boundaries, right? And small but a powerful moment for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that, man. It's a great, powerful story, man. For me, it had to have been I was so love deprived from relationships when I got out of my first marriage, when she said she didn't want me anymore and wrote me this long letter because I got married young. I got married at 21, right? And came into a relationship that had 2 beautiful children already, right? And I still love them to this day, right? And I helped raise them for a long time. But when it came to a place of my ex-wife saying, "Hey, you're a little boy, you're not a man," and I worked 3 jobs, putting her through cosmetology school that she still does to this day. I was there raising the children. I was buying 3 ice cream cones, right? Because my son at the time, right, Jerovan, was born. So I'm being a dad at a young age, right? And that really hurt me, man. And that put stress factors on me. And after that, it allowed me to walk around with my head down for a long time. Now, what I did was I jumped into my career and said, okay, I'm gonna focus on this, but the external, how I looked and right through the eyes of other people, it was always a negative. So I always held my head down until one day my wife, or my current wife now, she was, a girl that was interested in me, kept just coming around, just kept lifting me up, kept coming to my face, asking me, "How was your weekend?" She'd wear this red pea coat. Ooh, you fine, girl. But anyway, get this red pea coat, right? And whenever we talked, she was sashay real hard away. I said, "Oh, okay." But it came to a point where she saw me, and it wasn't because I had something. It wasn't because, a stature. She saw me for who I was. And that penetrated my heart something crazy. And it made me look at her differently one day. And I almost wept, almost cried in front of her. And I said, "You see me?" She said, "Yeah, baby, I see you." And we've been together for since. It's been 17 years later, married for about 6 years, man. But she saw me because for a long time, I didn't think anybody saw me. But I just kept putting my head down, just kept working away, doing exactly. But she saw me. And that was the thing that I needed in my life to add to the healing that I was
Mm.
going through. She saw me, and that's all I really wanted. And when it happened, it came out of left field. And like I said, she's here now, you know. And that's, I call her my country corn. She's from the country, man. But that was a powerful moment in time for me that sticks into my mind when I was going through my healing journey. And when she said she saw me, that yeah, yeah.
I
That
love
that
that.
helped me. Yeah, that helped me tremendously. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I feel an important part of my journey as well during all that was just kind of finally hitting the realization that any relationship I was in, I felt like I was putting too much into it. So
Mm.
it felt like I was the one putting all the care and the love into the situation, because I almost felt like it was more of a, now I look back and I'm like, was it really an illusion, or was it the feeling of loving to be loved?
Mm.
Now that you kind of overanalyze it, it's just it's hard to really place. But
Right.
for all I know, it could have been misplaced. I was still young, didn't know exactly what to do, and I was still on my own healing journey and didn't realize that till how many years later in my life. So it's hard to really overanalyze it too much, but I think waking up to that fact really kind of did another trigger, like just finally accepting, maybe I wasn't actually properly, caring for a lot of these people. I just it's a hard realization to really think back on, but it's just going, okay, well, or maybe I was just young and young. I don't know other way to put it, but it's definitely, it was eye opening when I finally was just like, you know what? I think we're just going to work on me now. And
Mm.
once we hit that point, that's when I started realizing all these extra things about me and about past, and finally allowing that recovery to finally start actually happening. Not
Mm.
just with the drinking, but just waking up to how I need to set the boundaries and allow the people I want in that should be there, that should be allowed to that part of me, So and it's setting those boundaries was a big extra step there too.
Mm.
Yeah, that's something that we could probably talk about in a whole separate podcast. But
Oh yeah.
boundaries, right? Like, as I'm listening to you both speak, I'm thinking in the back of my head, like, going through this caused me tremendous amounts of pain in so many different avenues.
Yep.
And I remember often I felt not like I was betraying other people, but I felt like maybe I was being kind of selfish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because healing can look selfish
Yeah.
sometimes to the
Yeah.
outside, right? And as I'm hearing both of you speak, I can't help but bring that up. I know that could be a completely separate topic and podcast, but it begs the question, like, what do you do for yourself in those moments to kind of recognize those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to come off like that to other people. I know I certainly didn't,
Yeah.
but often I did. Often I felt like I was being selfish. I was pulling myself away because I needed to heal the appropriate
Mm.
way. And the appropriate way wasn't going out and having drinks with my friends.
Yeah.
The appropriate
Mm-hmm.
way wasn't going to the local bar and, messing around with the young ladies,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Right.
The appropriate way was healing in silence, was sitting on my
Yeah.
balcony and reflecting, was writing in my journal, was sobbing at some stupid song in the car that
Yeah.
triggered me,
Yeah.
you know? And those were the moments that I needed, and often that looks selfish.
Yeah. No, you're right, man. I often sometimes talk to people and I say boundaries are so beneficial, so important. But I say make sure they're not walls you're putting up, and they're
Mm,
actually boundaries, because we can get the two confused,
ooh,
right? At the
yeah.
baseline of walls and boundaries, well, the bottom line is it's a protecting mechanism, right? It's to shore up things, to make sure that you're safe. Walls are set up, yeah, to be safe, but I do it in anger. I do it in pain. I do it in rage. I do it in hatred. And you never heal from that. Boundaries, so different. I put up boundaries now for the love of me. So, bro, what you said is so powerful, man. Look, hey, I can't do this anymore. It's not that
Mhm.
I don't want to. I can't do this anymore. So now I'm putting up boundaries to make sure that I'm healing. And it, like you said, if that's in silence, then let that be. Walls. If you do it in the wrong right way of wrong vernacular, listen, you still gonna be angry at them.
Mm.
You still gonna be right. And that is not a healthy way because walls block you off to truth. It blocks you off to other people who want to be your battle buddies. And you don't know it. Why? Because you got a wall up.
Mm-hmm.
A boundary. I might can see through it. I'm gonna have to shore it up sometimes. But I'm looking over this boundary saying, hey, these are my non-negotiables, and I can see everybody. Yep, don't cross it. Thank you. All right, everybody have a good day. Now, thank you for writing.
You spit some wisdom there.
Yeah, man. But no, what you said is so powerful, man. So powerful, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, and like thinking on the, like you said before, there could be a whole nother, episode. I mean, hey, we might dive into it also at some time.
Sure.
But like the boundaries, as we started talking about, is a key component to healing, though.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, Giselle, you have to tell the difference.
Yeah.
But it's realizing, maybe you sit and reflect on what just happened to create that boundary. It's not a boundary that just pops up, because that's
Right.
normally what a wall is. That's like,
Yes.
no, this is not happening. I'm not getting hurt again.
Yep.
No, this is okay. Let's pull in the whole thing, and they go, okay, so this caused this. My brain just going to think analytically about it. I'm going to break it down and be like, okay, where was the issue?
Mhm.
Okay, the issue is right about here. Okay,
Mhm.
so this is what kind of started the whole thing. All right, so this small chunk, okay, that's a new boundary. We'll put that in the bucket, and there's my boundary. It's literally just kind of breaking it down, subconsciously thinking about it for a while.
Yeah.
I know I make it sound easier than it really is, but that's how my brain processes it. So it's just, it's pulling out that little piece and going, okay, so this is what really is the issue that I know I no longer want to be around,
Yeah.
or be involved in, or even deal with when it comes to people. All right, there's my boundary. And
Yeah.
that's like the easiest way to explain it for me.
Yeah. That's good.
That's beautiful. Along these boundary lines, you ever sit someone down and tell them how they hurt you?
Tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
It doesn't sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I've done this, and it was one of those ones where you feel like you go into it and like you have all the answers, right? But like deep down inside in the pit of your stomach, you feel like you're gonna throw up.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of those conversations.
Yep.
And that's the kind of awkward that's necessary, though. That's the kind of awkward that's necessary. I remember calling someone up years after the fact to say, hey, I've been carrying this pain for too long. And I'm on this healing journey. And I'm not asking for anything, but I need to let it out. The phone was silent for what felt like minutes. It was probably like 20 seconds. And they said, I had no idea. And I'm sorry. And now, not every conversation ends like that. Like you said, Brian, some don't go anywhere. But just saying the thing, right, that I mentioned to this person, naming that pain out loud.
Yep.
It unfroze something within me that I didn't know needed thawing out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's good.
And sure, it's awkward, but you get your voice back in the process. And once you have that, I swear to God, you're unstoppable. It's clumsy. It's scary. But those combos, they unclog your soul, and they're necessary. They need to happen.
Yeah, it feels like an internal block happens until you do that. It's like, okay, I'm going to just turn this faucet back on now. We got the clog out of the pipes. Let's turn it back on. All right, things are good again. I totally get you. I've had those conversations where it's just, okay, do I really want to do this? Is this going to help? even if they don't really listen. Is it even worth my time? But ultimately, it comes down to it just getting it off your chest. It's like, oh, that's what I was missing. Okay, all right, we can go to the next person. Who else do I need to talk to?
Yeah, no, that's true, man. And to add to that, and what I've learned is this: be ready for a reaction or response.
Yep.
Be willing to right, and don't go in it with a response that you want to that you want them to have.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it happen. Just let it happen.
I'm gonna say, and also be prepared that what if you're that person, right?
Yo,
What if you're
that
that
too.
person on the other
What if you're the
side of the phone
True.
call?
what if
Are
you're
you
that
ready to receive
person?
that?
Yeah, that's real, man. That's the
Right.
whole purpose of what we're talking about today, man.
Yeah.
It's not a pretty thing. It is ugly. It's painful. It hurts, but it's so necessary, right? I've never met anybody that came out of surgery and said, I feel good after this surgery. Not one person that gone up. Not one person, right? But those are those moments when it's healing. Still gonna be painful. It may even have a little discharge, but it's healing.
And then just to be ready for it, good or bad, but don't respond emotionally.
Yes.
At that type of situation, if you're prepared for it, respond. Either don't respond or have more of a logical approach in that situation. So that way you're not starting a new wound, a new, you don't know where it's going to end up.
Absolutely, man. Because I don't have time to take on that energy, man. So now
Mm-mm.
that's why I came up with that phrase. I stay yay either way. Right.
Yep.
Whether
love
you
that.
tell me that or I'm telling you that, and I'm looking for, because a lot of times I be fishing for a response. Well, if I say this gonna get them in their feels, and you don't see not one drop. And they just like, what else? And you like, well, dang, I would have responded. And now you taking on that energy.
Yep.
I don't have time for that, man. But it's powerful to get it off of you because it will unlock things in you. You'll level up, right? Just like on zombies, when we go to the machine and we leveling up our
Mhm.
Let's
weapons,
go.
right? It'll unlock some things. So
I love it. I love it.
Always
We
got
need
to
to-
stop at that arsenal and upgrade yourself.
that's right, man. That's
We need to
right.
play again soon.
Yes, absolutely, man.
Yeah, those are good times.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, speaking of growing, there's this portion that I wanted to talk about. It's when you outgrow the room, right? Type of, I guess, methodology that I'm going along with here. There's this moment in healing where you show up to a place, maybe even a group of people you used to feel at home with, and you just don't fit anymore. It's not drama, it's not shade, it's just misalignment, right? The jokes don't hit the same. The energy might feel off. And suddenly you realize this version of me doesn't belong here anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I once walked into a room full of friends and I was expecting to feel nostalgia, but instead I felt like a guest at my own reunion.
Wow.
And nobody was wrong,
Yeah.
I just wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
And that moment, it hurt, but it also told me something. It told me that I was growing.
Yeah.
When the old room stops fitting, you have to start building new ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
And new rooms aren't for the faint.
That's right.
Right. You know it's time to build new ones when those moments come up. And sometimes growth means saying goodbye. Not in bitterness, but in truth.
It's hard to accept that, though. I'll be honest. There were times where just fully going, yeah, I've outgrown this situation, whatever it might be, whatever the people may be. It's just like, how do you? I guess I've never fully allowed it to some degree. How do you make that full transition? How do you push forward if there are those people that hey, this might not be what it used to be? Do you hope that they change with you, or do you just keep trying?
Mm. Yeah, it's a great question, man. So for me, how I handle certain things, I look at life, I look at people, I look at circumstances. If you want to look at it at like a garden, okay, you got
Okay.
different roses, you got all flowers, you got all sorts of things, and we go through life trying to cultivate this garden, right? Your own personal garden. And my thing is there are some things that can't grow in the same season of other things. There's certain things that have to be removed for your garden to still be healthy. And if that's the case, well, I backfill it with other things. I backfill it with other greatness, right? That's how I've, what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
was able to move forward. Or I pay attention to the people that are there that's growing and flourishing. And you can grow together and build that garden together, right? Because I always believe teamwork makes the dream work. I always
Oh yeah.
believe that, right? And for me, if I showed up to a place, and I've been in many places where it was just a difference. It wasn't that we were mad at each other.
Mm-hmm.
I just outgrown it, right? I had a young man come to me the other day. He said, "Hey man, I need some advice." 29-year-old young man. He came to me and said, "Hey, I don't want to go over a certain person's house because they're trying to watch a certain type of movie that doesn't really sit with my spirit anymore." He said, "Well, what should I do? Should I just tell him that I don't want to do it? Or should I just tell him that, I got to fold dishes that weekend?" And I said, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on, time out. I said, "You're still being controlled." That's how I see it. Okay. I said, "I understand that you don't want to step on their toes. I understand that." I said, "But the best policy is the honest policy. If they say that they love you and want you to come over and hang out, explain it to them." He said, "Yeah, but I don't want to come off." I said, "Sometimes that's the problem. We're focusing on what other people might do and might say, and we haven't even figured out if they might say it or will say it. We got to explore that and investigate that." I said, "But the best policy you have to do is be honest with yourself and be honest with them. And if they say they love you, you'll find that part out." He said, "Man, okay." So he went and talked to him. I said, "Man, I really want to do this." And he said, "Oh man, no problem. If that makes you feel uncomfortable because I love you, I'll change that." He
Oh,
came back to
wow.
me and said, "Man, thank you for that, man, because I was wrestling in my head and everything." And I said, "Bro, it is all good. It shows that you are just growing. That's all. You're just growing." And I said, "It's going to come a time to where either they're going to catch up to said growth or they're going to stay there. And it's not up to you to want to pull somebody. I can't pull somebody and make them do something if they don't want to do it. If they don't see that they need some growth, I can't help that. You focus on you and you keep going, young man." And he said, "Man, thank you for, because he was really nervous. This dude is, up here."
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
And I
Right.
said, "Man, it's not up to you to figure that out. Be honest, man. That is the best thing you can do. Don't make up rules, regulations, and say, well, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. No, no. Be honest, because you're gonna keep establishing yourself with lies, man. Are you busy that weekend? Well, I'm really not. Man, just be honest with them, bro. Because one, you may forget. Well, didn't you do that last week? Oh yeah. Nah, just tell them the truth. Just tell them the truth, man. That was my advice to him, and it worked out for him. But I don't know, man. But such is life sometimes. And I just try to be honest with everybody, man. Just, do it in love, do it in wisdom. And if they don't like it, well, long hair don't care. I still love you.
That's beautiful. It hits us all.
That works.
Yeah.
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 Well, look, y'all, healing's not a highlight reel. It's awkward. It's ugly, but it can be beautiful too. It's
Yes.
funny. It's that moment when you spit sake into a bowl in front of your entire family. But every awkward moment is a signal that you're becoming and that you're choosing yourself. And if I can say anything to the next generation or to somebody who's currently struggling in our community that watches this stuff and is looking for love and support, stay in it. We got your back. we're going to hold the line for you when you can't. And when you're ready, come up here and join us. We'd love to have you. So if you're fumbling through your own growth right now, keep going. If you're out here crying in Target or turning down shots at dinner or having weirdly deep combos with your dog, you're doing it right, okay? This isn't about perfection. This is about progress.
Yep.
And if no one's told you lately, I think I can speak for all three of us. I'm certainly proud of you.
Absolutely.
For the weirdness, for the courage,
Definitely.
for the consistency. So go out there and be glorious, be beautiful, be beautifully awkward. That's healing. We love you, fam. Until next time.
Much love.